Hello and welcome back to Soul Trader, wild fishing and music, and it's actually the second week of the trout season. The opening day was last Saturday. It's now the following Sunday. I've just not managed to get out. I've been so busy at home with new kitchen and associated plumbing catastrophes, so I'm just about at the edge of my sort of stress levels limit now, so I've just got to get out for a couple of hours. And the obvious candidate is the little stream at the end of my road, which doesn't really fish that well till quite a way into April normally, but we've had a couple of mild days, very low water, but there's been a little bit of rain overnight, which has just put a couple of inches of water in. If it's not too coloured, we may be in with a good chance on the nymph or dry fly, or maybe spiders, I don't know. But I've not set up yet, the rod's still packed up, I've not even got a reel on. So I'm going to see what's what, and I'll approach the session accordingly. I've got less than 2 hours really. Convinced the wife that I needed a bit of a break, and I'll get back to work when I get home again. So there we go. Let's see what's in front of us here. Just look at that. That looks like a beaver dam. Although I'm not aware of any beavers on this river. I think it's just the way the floods have gathered that brush together. But that's an interesting pool below there. Very difficult cast though. Now this particular stretch of river is a good place to try early in the season. It gets too overgrown later on with balsam. You can see that floodplain down there absolutely cloaked in wild garlic now, and in another couple of months that is going to be Himalayan balsam taking over as the garlic dies off. Not flowering yet, but you can certainly smell it. Just approaching a half decent pool which gave me a couple of decent trout last year. It's an uncharacteristically deep stretch that pulls a few better than average fish. I don't see anything moving while I'm tackling up. I shall just go straight on to a nymph, but water's running quite clear now, so I can dispense with my ideas using the streamer. I think if we had another couple of inches on, the streamer might be an option. But anyway, let's just see if there's any fly life and attendant rises in this little stretch down here. Beautiful on a spring afternoon. Just gone 12 o'clock and there should be a few olives around. Should be. And if there are, I'm sure it'll bring a couple of fish up. You even see a bumblebee there in the distance. Looking for flowers in vain. I think he's hoping to find some wild garlic flowers, but they're not there yet. Not even tied a tippet on yet. This just ends at £6. That was in the event of me using a streamer, which could still happen yet. It depends on what happens in the next hour really. But what I'm going to do is extend that tippet to a short length of £4 pounds, maybe 2 feet of £4, and I'll use that for a nymph. I'm going to put a medium weight nymph on and search the sort of lower areas of water. I've not seen anything rising yet. There was a dimple down that pool down at the bottom there, but I'm feeling it might be just a bit of a raindrop coming off the tree. So there's our fly. It's a bit of a sort of a March brown come olive nymph, sort of bit roughly based on a hare's ear, with a sort of a bit of a spidery hackle there. That's semi-weighted, so it'll sink down a bit. The tapered leader is maybe about 10 feet, quite a bit longer than the rod. If I was using a longer rod, I'd use a longer leader, but it gets a bit unmanageable on a small stream like this, trying to be clever and use very long leaders, so that's about the best compromise really. I think using the longest leader you're comfortable with is a good idea. It'll certainly put more fish on your hook. Just a bit of coil memory. This line is a 3-weight double taper, and I've reversed it because it was worn out at the front end. That's the one major advantage with double taper fly lines. You get sort of 2 lines in one really, plus a very delicate presentation, but once the business end's getting very worn and cracked, you can reverse it and use a nice clean sort of back end of the line. Isn't getting very deep, plus I'm also still getting that coil memory on my line. See if I can give it a bit more of a stretch. That's been on the base of the reel, so there's a bit of what we call coil memory, where it's still trying to form the coils from before. Alright, so we've got a bit of a contrast on a dark bug with the tungsten head now, which will hope it'll search the water a bit more and certainly get down to the feeding zone, which certainly isn't on the surface at the moment. I've not seen anything move at all. At mayfly time, I can creep up on this pool behind these rushes, which at the moment are still dead, and it makes keeping cover a little bit more difficult. I'm going to try that sort of deep run against the far bank with this nymph. See if I can possibly bring anything up. Very, very careful approach. Keep back from the bank a bit. Yet another try to straighten out the kink in this line. So I want him towards that far bank. Let it sink. And watch for a bit of a tightening. Oh, little tiny one. What we got here? Oh, I don't think it's is it a trout? Oh, it's a little chublet. Well, that's ironic, isn't it? That is so ironic. Oh, it's little dace. Right. Coarse fish on fly. Out of season. Well, that sort of defeats the blank anyway. What we're after is a nice scrapping brownie really. So let's search that bank over there. Let it sink. So, just broken off. The 3-pound tippet, or 4-pound tippet at the end's gone. So while I've got that 6-pound bit on, I'm just going to try the streamer, because there's absolutely nothing moving and I've not seen a single fly hatch. So that's it. And here we've got a new pool which was completely unapproachable before, but now looks a bit more fishable. No trout. Just that one little wee dace. There we go. Hey! Oh, he's gone. That would have been our first trout of the 25. What a shame. Not a big one anyway. But they will take the streamer, obviously. If you can find them. Build up a gravel here, and I think it's made more of a pool up there. That was pretty thin. It's probably put a bit of depth on that now. Big build up a shingle here. Right, so we get to the road bridge and the pool above. So we've got a sort of a long cast upstream, and there's fish rising. Couple of chucks with a streamer, and then I'm going to try to dry, I think. And the fish, comfortable length of line, starting towards the bottom end here, and work the way across the river and then extend it. At least you might have a couple of fish active here, which is quite something. Oh, there's a pull one. So there's something in that back water. Okay, let's try the streamer down this bit of a run here. I'm not going to cast, I'm just going to pay a line out. Let the current take it down. And point round about that tree. Then it's probably worth giving it a bit of a jolt. There's a big brownie there. It's a somehow doubt, but you never know. Ah, no, there's something had a pop at that straight away. Well, there we go. Bit of a disappointment, really. Quite typical for this time of the year. Bumped a couple of trout on the streamer, hooked one briefly, got a small dace on the nymph, and basically a trout blank. And I've only seen one fish rise, which is so odd. Middle of the day, you should see a few olives hatching. The worrying thing is, I've only seen 2 or 3 flies hatching, which is quite unusual. The usual complaint is lots of flies and no fish coming up for them. Well, there'll be no fish coming up for them and no flies this time, so I'll keep my eye on that. It is a slow start to this river, so like I say, not totally unexpected, and I managed to fall in, get myself quite soaking wet. I was only in 3 inches of water, but I slipped on a slimy rock and went over onto my side, so thankfully the phone's alright, but I'm a bit soggy and cold, so that's the end of it for me. If you've enjoyed the content, please subscribe, maybe give us a like. Well, not quite over yet. I couldn't resist giving it another shot. I've come down again after tea time. It's probably got maybe half an hour of daylight, if that. It's getting cold now. The sky's cleared, and I'm just going to try the streamer in a couple of spots where I think there might be a good spot for a decent trout. Hooked a clumper at the end of last season in a certain spot, deep hole, very tight to the bank, and if I can drop a streamer in there at this time of day, I've just got the slightest chance of connecting with him again. So I'm just going to give it another shot. Okay. So a weapon of choice this time, black and white streamer, and see if this will bring out something in this this dusk period. Not usually out at dusk at this time of the year, usually more towards the summer months, but let's just see if it's possible for me to break that blank for the first outing. I'm going to have a split shot because it's not really getting down this. I think I might have tied it, it's an unweighted version. So I'm going to add a split shot to the head of the fly. Just sure there's something in here. Yep. Can find one a BB, if not a number 4. There we go. Even fly fishermen need to keep a little canister of shot in the pouch or bag or back chest pack or whatever it is you're carrying, waistcoat, etc. Always keep some split shot. And that's just pinched on the head of the fly, so it's going to be like a jig fly effect. The first few casts over a fish is the best time, so he's flogging it. There we go. Little one. Little scrapper. But there we go, that's one. Oh, I'm not going to bother with the net. I could probably just about get the hook out without handling him, maybe. I don't know if I keep still for a sec. Maybe not. I'm just going to take my glove off, so as not to get any negative comments. Where are we, mate? Come here. Oh, funny little brownie. Back you go, mate. Try and keep out of trouble this time. There's another. Oh, I don't think it was a big one. There's another fish though. They seem a bit more tuned into the stream at this time of the day than they were in the afternoon. Well, after all that, broke the blank, little trout on the streamer, so it'd be nice if I'd managed to get it on the afternoon session, but there we go. So it turns out a cold spring evening, still might get the odd little trout, or a big trout maybe, on that on the streamer, because they do get sort of active and predatory as the light goes. Perhaps about what you can expect for this time of the season. Usually the problem is too much water. This time it's too little, and those anglers will never be happy with the river conditions, no matter what. So yeah, if you like the content, please give us a subscription and maybe a like and a share. That'll be great, and I'll see you again next time, hopefully very soon, and hopefully after a bit of rain. Take care.